Callahan. They've got the most face-off wins in the country, 1 and 2 to start the season. Mullen in white, Callahan in black, and we are underway. It'll be Hopkins that starts with the ball. So we mentioned Melendez is missing, Hopkins leading goal scorer. How does that shake things up for the Blue? Syracuse has had outstanding starts to games. 6 games in, they average more than 6 goals per first quarter. And Johns Hopkins looking to weather that storm. Callahan won the clamp, but Syracuse wins it back.
That's a big possession for Syracuse because Johnny Mullins, when he had the infraction, when he jumped early on that first one, cannot take the next face-off. Hopkins wins the clamp, but does not win the possession.
Starts, they've got another one here at the Dome. Awesome atmosphere in what is one of, if not the greatest rivalry in the sport. And for Johns Hopkins, it's hard to pick. This is their 4th straight rivalry game. When you take a look at their schedule, Kark, it feels like every week
is at its best in college lacrosse. This is offensive awareness. The ball's like hot potato for both of these teams. There's so much skill on the field here today in the Dome.
So Johns Hopkins has won all 4 faceoffs against John Mullen, who's at 66% on the season, and yet the Blue Jays trail by 3. They've won every faceoff in this game, but they trail 3-1. Plenty of shots, 7 of them, but that one from Eiler, the first that found the back of the net. And Callahan continues to dominate at the faceoff X.
He's going to get a penalty right now, too, where the Jays will go extra man.
Free possession.
Play like Canadians. One is a Canadian, Chuck Ross, and Hunter Chauvet is the most Canadian-American player I've ever seen in my life.
Rawson must be mimicking Chauvet's shooting stroke because Chauvet's got that unique delivery, and that looked exactly like it.
Very similar. Similar builds. One wears 51, one wears 91. Two-hand lefty cradle wing right next to him. So it's pick your poison. Now Carlson establishes himself. The next extra man, don't be surprised if Chauvet gets more room.
Callahan continuing to cause Syracuse problems. The Blue Jays win another faceoff. They've won every single one of them to start this game. And this is going against John Mullen, who wins 2 out of every 3 faceoffs this season, 66%.
Mullen, yeah. He's never been under 50% in a game. Every single game, he's been 50%.
Syracuse wins its first faceoff of the game. They're going to need John Mullen to do what he does best.
You'll get an opportunity to see Mullen make adjustments. Playing against one of the best offensive skilled teams in the nation.
If you're a goalie, Hiltz's torso's facing away from the goal, so you're thinking, no way he's going to shoot it, and bam, it's in the back of the net. Mullen forcing it there. Trade here settles it down for the Orange.
And that's one knock on Johnny Mullen. And he is a good offensive player. He can shoot the ball, but you're struggling in the matchup. You get a clean face-off, too, growing up in upstate in the 90s and coming off the tails of the Gate era into the Powell era.
When you fall in love with the sport in the 90s, it's because of a matchup like this.
But I just look back, I was in 8th grade. Sophomore and junior year, hardly any playing time. Stayed the course, didn't flinch.
First goal of the season. He's got 2 assists today.
They thought never could be done with a stick. The Powells and the Thompsons and the Kavanaughs. You have all of these youngsters kind of pushing the envelope, but it all started with Gary Gate, the behind the backs, and the way that he altered his stick. He's so creative with the way he strung it. Just a massive impact. This game is intense. They're playing for something, Jay.
Yeah, we just showed you the 1989 championship, but they're playing like there's a championship. Yeah, you've been calling for Eiler, and he has delivered. Second goal today, big face-off win for John Mullen, who has struggled from the dot today. And getting the better of John Mullen in that first half, though. Mullen answers. Shot out of a cannon. Finds Hiltz. Too much on that one. And Syracuse has won 5 of the last 7 face-offs after losing 6 of the first 7. And we are tied for the 4th straight time. Mullen wins it to himself, head of steam. Tried to get the Hiltz as it bounces. Deer denied on the doorstep. Crease violation anyway.
Last few times, he hasn't been able to escape the pressure because he's forcing the issue.
Syracuse wins another face-off. Sam English going against his little brother Brooks English. So good on the wings. You said the first line midfield for Syracuse would be the difference if the Orange was going to win this game. Michael Leo, part of that group. English talking about stick work with Charlotte North at halftime on the cross. Great example of that by Eric Chick.
Quick release.
8 goals from 7 different Hopkins players. Here's John Mullen. Low pass to Hiltz. That's exactly what you were just talking about, Paul. Mullen's winning the face-off, but struggling after that. Not making the right decision.
Some chess with the offense. Okay, Hoddle's the guy, he's a speed guy, we're gonna put the pole on him. So then Cortez gets the short stick. And credit Cortez with 2 massive goals. The lefty rip and then the righty, because the scout on Cortez, heavy lefty, he opens up that right hand.
How about John Mullen? He's turned it around at the face-off X. 6 straight face-off wins.
7 in white reigns supreme.
And Mullen, another face-off win. Syracuse stealing the momentum back at the end of this 3rd quarter. 2 goals in 36 seconds. And there's another! Sam English buries it and fires the Orange in front.
That woke the crowd up. The dome is now popping. I mentioned in the open when I highlighted the 3 midfielders. Sam English is the unicorn of the bunch because what he does in transition. Wings on face-off, defense to offense. And that's Joey Spallina. That is a hidden ball trick.
Wow, they fooled me.
Are you kidding me? Sam English the entire time, everybody is looking, including you, including me, and it's an empty netter from Spallina.
They fooled.
That is sick.
They fooled the 10,000 of the dome. They fooled you and me. If somebody saw it at home, good for you. Wow.
Joel Tinney did it to me in 2018, I believe. Hopkins, Navy. This time, look at the hidden ball trick. Everyone thinks Sam English has it. I'm pointing to the board to you. 15, English. Empty netter by Spallina. That is sick. Wow.
And it was English who was celebrating, too.
Exactly. He sold it through the goal.
Incredible. I think Luke Stout's still wondering where it came from. 3-0 Orange run in 51 seconds after just 1 goal in 21.5 minutes, and the flag's flying. What a run for the Orange at the end of this 3rd.
A lot of times on a hidden ball, you'll bail on it early. English knew the assignment to go through the end.
And John Mullen has taken over at the face-off X. Trade here. Stout keeps it out.
That's a tough stop. Stout's got 5, but he's made a couple critical ones here in the second half.
And Syracuse has won 11 of the last 14 face-offs. That's changed the game. And we are tied for the 6th time today. 4 lead changes in a heavyweight clash.
Spallina recognizes that with a quick pass.
John Mullen not at the face-off X for Syracuse, and Hopkins wins. That snap.
Laughed and made a joke. Said, Pete, when I saw your schedule, I see your schedule every year. I'm like, oh, you could go 0-13, you could go 11-2. Battle tested. for moments like this, to respond on the road. That's why you play all the heavyweights when you're Johns Hopkins. That type of stroke. Luke Roa, well known as one of the elite midfield shooters in all of college lacrosse.
And Mullen wins another faceoff after losing the first 6. Syracuse starting under 4 minutes. They have separated down the stretch. Callahan desperate to win a faceoff. Mullen battling for it. And this is going to be Blue Jays ball with their backs against the wall.